are here and we're going to get started with Module 5. Yes, that is right. We are starting a brand new module today. Now, we are starting a new module, but we're keeping all of the same books. Our books will not change it. So all the same books. And we're going to start with a sprint, which can be found on page 57 of your Starry Night Fluency book, Ooh and Ah, and it looks something like this. It says, write the unknown number. Pay attention to the symbols. Pay attention to the symbols and the placement of the unknown. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Gotta get the clock. So yes, we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. And you, in your Starry Night book, are going to do your very best job to write the unknown number. Alright, so you should be ready when I'm ready. Let's see. On your mark, get set, go! Okay. You heard as well as I did. Time is up. Stop what you're doing. We're going to go ahead and see how we did. So, let's check our work. Come on. Alright, so yes, our Starry Night book. We're in Module 5 now. Let's check our work. Let's see. Write the unknown number. Pay attention to the symbols. Starting at the top, if you get it right, give yourself a check. If you get it wrong, give yourself an X and just let yourself know, hey look, this is something I need to practice on my own a little bit. So let's go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 3, 5, 9, 10, 3, 3. Top of column 2, question number 16. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. 3, 3, 9, 4, 5, 9, 7, 2, 9, 6, 3, 6, 6, 2. All right, good job. Now let's zoom in on a few. How about these 3 right here? 20, 21, and 22. Actually, my bad. 19, 20. Skip that. We'll do a different set. Skip that because I circled it wrong. I don't want to confuse you. Let's look over here. Look at 13, 14, and 15. 13, 14, and 15. What is the same about these? Where do these come from? These come from the same number bond. Great job. Now let's go ahead and continue with our lesson. Come on. Great work on that sprint. Let's go ahead and keep going with our application problem, which, as always, is in our Learn book. So remember, I said 4 and 5. Well, now we're on Module 5. So it should say Lesson 1 again at the top. This application problem can be found on page 183. The digits are 183. Okay? And it reads, today everyone will get 7 straw pieces to use in our lesson. Later you will use your pieces and your partner's pieces together. How how many straw pieces will you have to use when you and your partner put them together? So yeah, go ahead and try, do your best, try and solve that. Spend about 3 minutes if needed to work on it, and the video will prompt you to submit a response. If in that time you don't find an answer, or the answer I should say, please tell me you don't know so I know that you interacted with the video. Don't just skip over the question. So again, it reads, today everyone will get 7 straw pieces to use in our lesson. Later, you will use your pieces and your partner's pieces together. How many straw pieces will you have to use when you and your partner put them together? All right, great job. So this is what I did. I used the tape diagram bottle. So mine and my partner's, my 7 and my partner's 7, because our parts are the same, left us with a total of 14 straws or 14 straw pieces. Now, what I want to talk to you about today and what we're going to be working on for this module is shapes. And we're just going to review some basic shape information. This is where, yes, the shapes I gave you, it's finally time. It is finally time. So the shapes I gave you, it's ready, we're ready for using them. So the first type of shape we want to look at is one that has 3 corners and 3 straight sides. All shapes with 3 corners and 3 straight sides can be grouped together. And what do we call a shape with 3 corners and 3 straight sides? We call them triangles. Tri also means 3. Oh, yes, it's where the name comes from. So the defining characteristics, the attributes, the things that make a triangle are having 3 corners and 3 straight sides. There are also shapes that have 4 corners and 4 straight sides. Now, as you'll notice, these shapes come in different varieties. The ones that have the little boxes in the corner means that's a straight corner. That's a straight, 2 straight lines meeting at a straight angle. And those are usually rectangles or squares. Those are rectangles or squares where you'll see that happening. And in those cases, all 4 of them, all 4 corners, so 4 straight sides and 4 corners, form these perfect squares. Or these, yeah, well, basically it's a perfect square inside of a 4. What? There's another square inside of a square? Basically. So yes, these are all shapes that have 4 straight sides and 4 corners. It does not need to exactly be a rectangle or a square. There are other ways in which, as long as it has 4 straight sides and 4 straight corners, 4 straight sides and 4 corners, it can be in this shape group. Then we have shapes that have 5 straight sides. So if you have 5 sides, you also have 5 corners. If you have 6 sides, you have 6 corners. Correct. 7 sides, 7 corners. You can make as many shapes as you want. As many shapes as you want, as long as your number of sides and corners match. Because then you get into what's called an open figure. Is an open figure a 2D shape? No, because a 2D shape, a flat shape, has to close. It has to be closed. But the other, in addition to not having straight sides, but you can have no sides and have no corners and still be considered a whole shape if you are like a circle or an oval. There's no sides, there's no corners, but it is closed. So that makes it a true shape. So let's look for some shapes together on page 127 in your Succeed book. That is the homework book, the Succeed book, and we're looking for shapes. So first you want to circle the shapes that have 3 straight sides. Now, do you see any shapes with 3 straight sides? You do? I do as well. I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. I see 4 shapes with 3 straight sides. If they have 3 straight sides, they also have 3 corners. Good. They also have 3 corners. Excellent. Now, do any of these 3-sided shapes look exactly the same? No, some of them are long and skinny, some are short, some are shaded in. The point being that they have these 2 attributes or traits or features in common. They have 3 straight sides and 3 corners. Now, next we want to circle the shapes that have no corners. If it has no corners, it also has no sides. Good. If it has no corners, it also has no sides. Excellent. All right, D. Now, in that, do you see any that fit this description? Any shapes that fit what we're looking for? Okay, this one, yeah. And that one, good. Ooh, this long guy here. And this one, good. Now, this one snuck into the circle, but that's not part of our group. Because as you'll see, it has this one straight side, which creates two corners. That's definitely not what we're looking for. Now, this one down here, we want to circle the shapes that have only square corners. So, knowing that we want shapes that only have square corners, we're looking for a four-sided or four-sided shapes. To have square corners, you have to have four sides. And to have square corners, you have to have four sides. That's number one. But number two means that everywhere the corners meet create straight corners, straight line corners. And I believe this one and this one are our four-sided shapes with only square corners. What is this shape called right here? What is that called? Ooh, good job. We call that a square. That is a square. Excellent. Now, the reason that this does not fit, even though it has four corners, is because that is kind of slanty to the side a little bit, so the corners don't make squares. They make like little triangles. Is it triangles? It's not a triangle. It's still a four-sided shape. No, we wouldn't treat it like such. We would make little curves here when we're defining those corners. But it's not perfect squares. They're not straight line meeting straight line to create a square. So, now, looking at and thinking about what we just talked about, which attributes are characteristics on the same in all of these shapes? All of these shapes have two things in common. What two things do all of these shapes have in common? They all what? Have four corners. Good. And what else do they all have? They have four corners. They also all have four sides. They have four corners and they have four sides. Good. Now tell me, which shape best fits the group 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Which of these 5 shapes best fits in this group? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or number 5? In the way? I'm out the way, okay. Number 4 best fits. Now, I like that. Now, number 2 and number 5 might could fit, except what we didn't identify originally was that these are square corners. More specifically than just corners, they are square corners. And this one, while it has 4 sides and 4 corners, they're not square. These ones are wider than these ones, and this one has a little bit of a lean to it, so they're not making perfect squares. So this one shape is the best fit, because we know it's only one of them, because it says right here, circle the shape and not shapes. That's usually a clue when you have to do more than one. So, okay. So now you are ready to practice doing a little bit of this on your own, identifying shapes. On your problem set, which can be found on page 185 in your Learn book, page 185. Remember, we are now in Module 5. So you're looking for it to tell you that you're back at Lesson 1. You're back at Lesson 1. Even though we're way deep in the book, you're back at Lesson 1. So it's 185. It is front and it is back. And you're going to be circling shapes, and you're going to be drawing shapes, and you'll be just identifying 3 and 4 sided shapes. Is it 3s and 4s? 3s, 4s, and no sided shapes today. So from this point, you will just let your Nearpod alone. The end of the video, let your Nearpod alone. Work on that in your book for the 10 minutes. Go ahead and finish that. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. You should be able to finish this more than the time allotted. Come back to your Nearpod so you complete your exit ticket. been split into 5 separate slides so that you have room to work. It's split into 5 sides so you can respond to the questions here and respond to the questions here. But guys, I'm excited to get started with shapes with you. And I'm done. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'll see you a little bit later. Bye.